Hi. Um, I'm here. This is gonna be my first video in my 80s movie reviews. Like I said in my previous video, all this month, or mostly all this month, it's gonna be all i- movies from the 80s I'm gonna be reviewing. And today I'm going to be reviewing the classic Walt Disney movie from 1981, The Fox and the Hound. Now, The Fox and the Hound, this is actually the actual VHS from 1994, which I'll get into a little bit more um, in a minute. But I've actually had this movie like for almost 20 years, and I actually like it. And yeah, and I actually feel that it's one of the, I guess you could say, major Walt Disney movies that doesn't really get talked about a lot. Like I guess people do talk about it, but compared to the other movies that Walt Disney made, this is probably one of the ones that gets talked about the least, or one of the ones that gets talked about the least. And yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do these movies, and this is one of them. I feel that I won't really say it's underrated. I just feel like not too many people really talk about it. Um, yeah, and so yeah, so I guess I can tell you what the story's about. It's about this fox who's played Todd. Um, what happens is at the beginning you see this fox running with her baby in her mouth, and she's trying to just protect her baby, and so she puts in hiding, and she goes taking off, and then we find out that she gets shot, kind of like Bambi's mother. And then this owl, this one character right here, this owl, which is actually a female character, which is very rare. Like to have the wise character in the movie be a female is kind of rare, but is rare. And her name is oh, um, Big Mama. I forgot. No, yeah, her name's Big Mama, and it's kind of funny. And she basically finds finds a home for this character. Well, actually, it was actually not only her, but these characters as well. Boomer and Dinky. If you could see, there's Big Mama, there's Boomer. I don't know how good you can see. The woodpecker, and then this small bird. I don't know if you could really see that. Yeah, that small bird right there. That's Dinky. They find Todd. Yeah, Todd. A home. With this old lady that they call Tweed, and so he lives with her, and then at the same time that Todd goes lives with her, this other character, Tweed's next door neighbor, Amos Slade, who's kind of like this. He's like a hunter, and he's not very nice. He brings home a dog named Copper, and yeah, and he also has another dog, which you can see back here. Back here, named they call him. I think they just call him Chief, and he's kind of he's not really happy at first because I guess because he's been the dog all this time, and all of a sudden there's this new dog. But eventually, I guess they become friends or whatever. So, anyways, and then we get into the actual story after that. After we're introduced to all the characters. And yeah, so what it's about? It's about this fox, like I said, Todd, and Copper. Yeah, Todd and Copper, they become friends, and yeah, like Todd one day goes on and they just start playing and having fun. And at first, the families don't really know what they're doing because they get called back, and then one day yeah, so they just basically, that's all you really see when they're younger. Like, actually, I know half the movies about when they're younger, but at the same time, I think it's more when they're older. The movie focuses more when they get older. Like, you just basically see these two just play around when they're kids, and then eventually, when the hunter goes hunting for a couple months, he decides to bring Chief and Copper with him, and Todd is all sad, and then whatever, and as we kind of get to see him grow a little bit. Well, actually, I don't think you get to see Todd grow that much, but you get to see Copper kind of grow, and yeah. And then when Copper comes back, they're both really grown into adults, and Todd, who's mischievous, wants to play with Copper and like wants to hang out with him because he hasn't seen him for so long. But Copper's saying that he's a hunting dog now, and he doesn't really want to hang out with him because he's just, I guess, worried. I think because he's worried that Copper's going to get hurt or something. Well, anyways, they end up waking Chief. And actually, this is the second time that he's waking Chief, because earlier in the movie, Todd is chased by the hunter, and yeah, because for playing with Copper, and so eventually when he comes back, he wakens the Chief again, this dog, and he chases they go Chief and the hunter go chasing after Todd, and I guess so does Copper, and Copper ends up finding him, but then he doesn't give him away. He leads the hunter away from Todd, and then but then Chief ends up finding Todd, and they're running on this train track, and Chief ends up getting hurt. Yeah, he ends up getting hurt. Actually, what I originally heard is he was actually originally supposed to be killed, but I guess they wanted to make it more family friendly, I guess. So they decided to just have him get hurt instead of him being killed. Anyways, and so because of that, Copper is very mad, and I guess is threatening Todd, say, if you ever come near me again, he's going to kill him, like, go after him. And so, yeah, and so then what ends up happening, the old lady ends up Tweed, because she realizes that it's too dangerous for Todd being there because of everything that happened. She decides to let him free into this, I guess, animal preserve that we can't shoot animals. And so he lets her off in there, and they actually ends up meeting another character. Well, actually, two characters. I didn't write them out. A porcupine and some other character. I'm not quite sure what it is. And we also end up meeting a girl fox named Foxy the Fox. No, I was just joking. Foxy the Fox. No, we meet a new fox named Vixie. Yeah, Vixie. And and so then they end up falling in love. Like, if you know classic Disney movies, then you know there's always the main character. A main character always falls in love with a female character. It did happen on Bambi and whatever other ones. And so, but then the hunter and Copper decide to go hunting in this animal preserve, and then Todd and Copper actually meet each other, and they actually start fighting. And the funny thing is, when they start fighting, Todd shows his teeth, and that's kind of scary. Not really scary, but it's kind of like almost like, whoa, he's really vicious, and it's like, that's probably a really scary moment. Like, that's what I would say the only really scary moment. That, and well, I'll tell you in a minute. And then so yeah, so he chases after Todd, and then Todd ends up getting away. Like the hunter and Copper chase out, but Todd ends up getting away. But then the hunter ends up tripping and is almost attacked by this. Well, actually, is attacked by this bear. The bear attacks him and Copper, or Copper and the hunter, and yeah, but then Todd comes and saves everybody, saves both of them, and then when Todd is exhausted, like after they fall over the cliff, they fight. The Todd and the bear fight, and then they end up going over a cliff, and then he's all exhausted, and the hunter wants to shoot him, but then Copper decides to go in front of Todd to save him, because I guess he realized, like, yeah, does to help him, just like he helped him, like before, I guess. Because I guess they're going to be friends, but unfortunately they can't really live to each other, and that it kind of ends in a sad way. the two neighbors, Tweed and Amos Slade, the hunter, um, ends up, I guess, getting along, because at first they weren't getting along, but then they end up getting along because he ends up getting hurt, like breaking his leg and whatever. And, yeah. And then at the end you see Copper and, I guess, his girlfriend Vixie, standing at the top of the cliff, kind of like, Bambi. I'm just gonna keep going back to Bambi, but it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of similar to Bambi. It has some similarities in it. But, yeah. And so it kind of ends on in a sad way, because, I guess because Todd and Copper are two completely different characters, like, and especially with the people around them, they can't really hang out together because it's really dangerous for both of them. Like, they might be able to hang out with each other, but it's just because Todd is Copper is a hunted dog and Todd is a fox, they really can't hang out with each other because it really put them both in danger. And yeah, and so that'd be it. That's it for the movie. I guess I'll tell you about kind of like the history on it. And like I said, this movie came out in July 10th, 1981, but it was originally supposed to come out in Christmas of 1980, and what ended up happening here, the reason it was delayed for a couple months is because what ended up happening is a lot of the animators on this movie actually left. They were working on it, but all of a sudden, I guess there's a big disagreement with everybody, and a whole bunch of animes ended up leaving, so it didn't actually get released until 1981. And, yeah. And they actually did do good. It cost $12 million to produce, and at the time, that was the most expensive movie to make. Like, the most expensive Walt Disney at the time to make. And it did end up making its budget back. It made over $63 million, so it did really good in theaters. But the funny thing is, it came out in 81, but it did not get released on video until 1994, which is actually this video, because I got this around, I think, like 95, I think 96, and yeah, and this was the first time it ever came on video, which is actually surprising. 13 years after it was released, it finally made its home video debuted, which I don't really understand why. Because all the other movies before this and after this were released on video, but for some reason, I don't know why this one took so long to come out on video. But anyways, it didn't come out until 94. And there was also, if you can see up here, it was part of the Walt Disney Classics. It was actually the last movie to be released for the Walt Disney Classics collection. It was the last movie released for Walt Disney Classics collection. And also, it's also the last Disney movie to use that end at the end. Like, if you notice that when it's over, it says that end and then the movie's over. But after this, all the other movies will have end credits, like ordinary movies. But this would be the last movie to use that end. And it's actually based on the book, and the book is way more darker, and it's actually shocking about some of the stuff. Well, like I said, some of the stuff happens, like this character, what's his name? I keep forgetting, Chief. He actually dies in the book, and actually the weirdest thing is, if you ever read the book, according to what I read, is Todd, or the fox, I don't know if they name him in the book, but the fox ends up getting killed in the book, and then Copper, the dog, what ends up happening is the old man, the hunter, ends up having to go into a retirement home, but because the retirement home doesn't accept dogs, the hunter actually shoots the dog. So in the book, both the fox and the hound end up dying, so it's like, whoa, it's completely different than what this was. Like having all these deaths in the... so I guess that's why they changed so much, because I guess it'd be too much death for the kids, for young adult, or for young people, which would be kind of dark, and I guess it would be really sad to see a fox get killed and then a dog get killed, or another dog get killed in here. I'm just looking at my notes. I have a note here. I wrote some notes down. In 1982, it won a Golden Screen Award, some kind of award. It won a Golden Screen Award in '82, and in December of 2006, they released a mid-equal, which I don't mind if it was a sequel, because I actually kind of like some of the sequels to Disney movies, but a mid-equal, I've never actually really seen any. What happens in a mid-equal? It takes place in between between the actual movie, and I guess the mid-equal is supposed to take place like before Copper goes off onto his hunting thing. It takes place before that, and when these two are still younger. So I guess you get more time when they're younger. But I do want to see it, but at the same time, I don't really want to. I'm not in a rush to see it right now. Like, I'm not in a rush to see it because it's the only mid-equal I kind of want to see is Bambi 2, because I know I'm getting off topic, but Bambi 2 I think takes place after Bambi's mother gets shot, and but before he grows up, because if you remember in Bambi, as soon as his mother gets shot and he walks away with his father, the next thing you see is him all grown up. So it kind of fills in that empty gap there of what actually happened with his time with his father, which we never found out in the first movie. So that's the only one I want to see. But the mid-equal to this, I don't really care to see like right now. I probably would check it out eventually. And also, as you might know, a lot of the Disney movies, to buy them on DVD, like that's why I still have this VHS. A lot of the Disney movies are really expensive on DVD. I know you might be able to get them cheaper, someone maybe used or something, but I don't know. I just prefer just to have the VHS, and like I said, I'll probably get the mid-equal eventually, but I'm not in a rush to get it. Yeah. Now, if it was actually sequel, I probably would definitely have seen it by now. There's some another character I forgot to tell you about is then that was gonna be really hard to see. You see right there. Yes, if you can see that little worm right there, or that little caterpillar right there. They call him a fuzzy worm or something. And Boomer, the woodpecker, and the little bird keep trying to go after him throughout the movie. But then at the end of the movie, he turns into a butterfly, so they never end up getting him. This is kind of funny. That's kind of like a side story. That throughout the entire movie, they're trying to get this worm, and then, yeah. I guess I'll show you the cover. This is the cover. Wait. This is the cover. I guess I can show you the side because like a picture of Todd on the side, and then the back. That's if you can see that, that's when Todd is fighting with the bear, like just before they fall in. This one is where he meets Vixie, or you could call her Foxy the Fox. No, Vixie and Todd when they first meet. Or actually, not when they first meet, but when they're trying to get along. And this picture right here, this picture is very weird. They show like all the characters together, like all the main characters, all the main animal characters together. But the thing is, that never happened in the movie. Because you don't see all these main characters together in one shot. They usually you see like separately. And also about this movie, if you know Disney movies, a lot of times they're kind of musical kind of things. But this one, it does have music in it, but all the songs, actually I think there's only like 2 songs in it, and they're both sung by Big Mama, which is the owl. And yeah, and I don't think you can really see her sing the song, so it's kind of like the song's kind of in the background, so which is kind of different. Yeah, because I like Fox and the Hound. And I actually didn't see it. I remember I actually seen it in the store, and I wanted my parents to get it, but they said no. But eventually they did pick it up for me, and I was happy. And because it's a movie I've been wanting to see for so long, and I think that's maybe why. Because I had a bunch of Disney movies before this, but for some reason this was never released on home video until '94, and that's why I didn't get it until later on. Because the other ones, which I might do in the future, I actually got them when they were late '80s, early '90s, and yeah. So that's the Fox and the Hound, and I guess there's really nothing else to talk about. Let's check my notes here again. Make sure I covered everything. Yeah. Is it I know I know this gets re-released and everything, but I'm not in a rush to get to re-release it. Well, one thing is because the DVDs are so expensive, and when I have a movie on VHS, I'm not really in a big rush to get it unless it's very cheap. But if I have on VHS, I'm not really in a rush to get it on DVD. I know it might have maybe if it has a lot of extras, but which it probably does. But I think one of the main reasons why I haven't got this on DVD is because the DVDs are so expensive. Like they go for about $30, and that's a lot. And wow, a lot for a movie. And so yeah, I guess just really nothing else to talk about. I hope yeah, I guess that'd be it for now. I hope you enjoyed my review of The Fox and the Hound. Yeah. My next movie, I don't know what movie I'm going to have. Because I kind of randomly pick them. Like, I do have the movies planned out of what I'm going to do, but I just randomly pick which one I'm going to do next. And so I have an idea of which one I might do next, but just stay tuned. And yeah, I guess that'd be it for now. Yeah. And yes, yeah, that'd be it for now. And so bye. I hope you enjoyed my review of The Fox and the Hound. Bye. Oh, and stay tuned because after and when I stop this video, it's going to be the trailer for The Fox and the Hound. So you can watch it. You don't have to watch it, but whatever. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry for the cut there. I just forgot to talk all about the cast of The Fox and the Hound. Yeah, so I guess I'll get to that now. Young Todd, the fox, is played by Keith Mitchell, who you might know as, who later, I guess, changed his name to, Keith Coogan, who, played on movies like Adventures in Babysitting, Toy Soldiers, and the one I probably remember him best from is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, which is probably, actually a movie I really like, and, yeah. Young Copper, the dog, is played by Corey Feldman. I don't really need to talk about him, because if you know 87, like, he's played in The Lost Boys, what's he playing? Okay, well, my mind's gone blank. License to Drive, and, well, actually, the first time I ever heard of him is from Gremlins. I know he didn't have a big part in there, but that's where I first heard him from. And then when Todd gets older, the fox, when he gets older, he's played by the legendary Mickey Rooney. And when Copper gets older, he's played by Kurt Russell. And the one who plays Vixie, the girl fox, is played by Sandy Duncan. I don't really recognize anybody else. I think these are kind of legendary, but I don't think I know who they are, but I was checking who they are. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry for the I'm just looking to see if I know any of these other people. Yeah, I know. I actually, for some reason, I forgot all about this. Like, all about the cast. I think a lot of them were just, like, a lot of TV actors, I think. That's what it looks like. This played in a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of TV work and stuff. Going through the cast, trying to go through quickly. I don't. So I don't really recognize the other actors. Let's go through. Yeah, once again, I want to apologize for if it seems kind of slow. I'm just trying to find out if I recognize any of these characters or actors. I mean, like they've done like a lot of voice work and stuff, but I just want to see if anything I recognize. Actually, the one who plays the porcupine. Actually, I know this for sure because let me just make sure. See if this one I think I do recognize if that's right. Yeah, the one who plays the porcupine, and I think the one who plays the Boomer. Yeah, the one who plays Boomer. This bird right here, the woodpecker. You can see it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah. Oh, the woodpecker there. He's played by a guy named he plays a guy named Paul Witchell, who played Tigger in Winnie the Pooh, and John Furter, who played the porcupine in the movie, played Piglet. So it's kind of like you get two people who played Tigger and Piglet in Winnie the Pooh in this movie. But the porcupine doesn't really have a big part in it, so yeah. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Sorry for this taking so long. I just wanted to go through the cast because I forgot I didn't do that, and yeah. Yeah. So Debbie, and like I said before, I don't know what my next movie is going to be, but yeah, and stay tuned because after this, I'm going to be showing the trailer for The Fox and the Hound. So thanks, and stay tuned for the next review.
Coming to theaters spring 1988. Walt Disney Pictures proudly presents...
There they are!
the return of a modern animated classic.
I'm a fox. I'm a hound dog.
They're two friends sharing adventures. Two friends sharing fun.
1, 2, Copper, you can't peek. Oh.
Two friends who don't know they're supposed to be enemies.
That's the part you gotta worry about.
The Fox and the Hound.
I gotta run.
It's an electrifying story only Disney could tell.
Holy smoke!
Filled with heartwarming tenderness.
Copper, he's my best friend.
Those days are over. I'm a hunting dog now.
Breathtaking suspense.
Drag him down, boy!
They're after Todd.
And foot-stomping fun.
I think I bet my beak.
The Fox and the Hound.
We will always be friends forever.